Hi everyone, it's Bonnie. It's Sunday, and I wanted to share one of my cards I created this week. I've gotten a lot of positive responses from it, and I thought it would be fun to show you how I created it in case you want to create a little pumpkin card for yourself. Now, I do want to share just a few things. I'm going to just move my cards off to the side. Whenever I set up for a class, I take out one of my little shoe boxes, and I know it's kind of hard to show you exactly, but it's one of those plastic bins that you can get at like Target or the dollar store. But what I do is as I'm creating, I put everything into the bucket so that when I have a card class or I need to make more within that time frame of the card class, I have everything is right here. I don't need to go searching for it. I don't need to go looking for it. Here is my ribbon. Here's my punches. Here's the stamp sets, my 2 sets of Framelits that I used, and my ink pads. So I am doing this card for my class this week, so I'm kind of prepared for it. So I just kind of wanted to show you like my organizational skill here of what I do when I'm prepping for a class in case you're wondering how to prep for a class. So I'm going to move this off to the side, whoops, and move my little camera stand too. But welcome if you're just joining on, and what I'm going to share is my little pumpkin card that I created this past week. And again, I'm so thankful that I've gotten so many positive responses. It definitely is a boost to my motivation for crafting and sharing. So I love all comments and feedback, and if there's specific things that you're looking for, of course, always drop me a message and I will do my best and try and teach that to you. So here we go. So how did I create this cute little card? Well, I'm going to just push this up forward to the camera. Hopefully it's in focus. And I'm just going to show you a few elements on this card. So this is a horizontal card, and then this is the vertical card. Whenever I'm creating, I do try to show, because in my card classes, they make 2 cards of everything of the one design. So I know how people are. They like to keep their creations. They don't like to always share them. So if we have 2, at least they can mail out 1. So on this one, I use the hardwood background. And I will tell you, this is Sahara Sand, this is Mossy Meadow, and this is Pear Pizzazz. So I did the stamping right back here. Then I added my pumpkins in pumpkin pie, pear, and crushed curry. You're going to see that I have 2 punches back here. This is the leaf punch, and this is the sprig punch. And then just for a little bit of color, and it's not necessarily matching any of the colors that I have on my card today, is the Share What You Love Designer Series paper that is in our annual catalog. However, it has some of the colors, but it blends so nicely with all the colors that I thought it was the perfect find for me to put onto my card. And then, of course, nothing is ever finished on my cards without some ribbon. And this I did the little burlap because I felt it was like more country-ish with the pumpkins. And a little bit of our linen thread. So all of those products are in that bucket that I just showed you. And then again, this is the vertical one. And instead of putting them like this, I spread them across the front. There's no wrong in art, so you can choose and pick how you want to design your card. You may only want 2 pumpkins, and that's totally fine. You may not want the crushed curry. Maybe you want a different color. That's fine too. Art is art. Again, no wrong. So let's get started on making our cards. I'm going to put those off to the side. And the first thing that I want to share with you is I've already cut some of my cardstock. And as I told you, it was Pear Pizzazz. And it is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So you can see, nice. My next layering piece is the Mossy Meadow. Okay, it's a returning color. And this is 1/4 inch different. So it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then the next piece is Sahara Sand. A few people thought maybe it was gray because of my picture. I will tell you, I probably would have done crumb cake. But in my card class this week, I have another card that features crumb cake, so I don't like to repeat colors if I can. So in a card class at least. So I picked Sahara Sand, and then again, 1/4 inch difference. So it is 3 3/4 by 5. So you can see all nice together. I next cut my Designer Series paper, and again, this is the Share What You Love Specialty Designer Series paper in the annual catalog. You can turn it over and you can see it's double-sided. got lots of colors in here, so that's why you can pick any colors. I mean, use your imagination. So with that, this is going to layer on my Sahara sand. So it is 5 inches by 1.5. Now, one of the cards I did 1 1/4, or maybe I did it 1 1/4. Whoops, it's 1 1/4. I got to trim. Well, I can leave it that big, I think. It's 1 1/4, so I'm going to cut that just a little bit. I don't want to take up too much room over here. So let me hurry up and trim that. See, live, make mistakes. It's okay, we can fix it. Better to be too big than too short. So, okay, I hurried up. Okay, so 1 1/4. So the pattern paper is going to be 5 inches by 1 1/4. So that when you put it over here, we're all good. Okay, so I have a little strip of white paper for my sentiment. I am going to use this little thank you today instead of the scallop. An oval saying right here that says thinking of you, which is by preference. So this is just scrap paper, and it's 3/4 of an inch wide. So it's just scrap, so I'm putting that there. And then you're going to need scrap paper, a pumpkin pie, crushed curry, and pear pizzazz. And you can see that I've already cut out my pumpkins to save some time. And I know I had a few people ask me the sizes. So what I'm going to share with you, this was the smallest circle, but you can do them all at the same time. So if you turn over the framelit and you take your little ruler, you'll see it's like 1 1/8 across there. Then the oval for the pear is just about the 1 inch mark. Whoops, sorry, about the 1 inch mark. And then the last one, the pumpkin pie one, is just over, well, it's just about 1.5 inches, as you can see. And I'm measuring it from the rim because that's what's cutting. So then, cut your paper just a little bit bigger, like 1 3/4. Like, give yourself a 1/4 of an inch difference for when you're cutting, just so that you have room on your paper and it doesn't run off the sides and stuff like that. So you can see, right, how nice this all works. Okay, put that off to the side and we can get started. So the first thing I'm going to grab is my Sahara sand layering piece. Got my ink pad right next to me. And when you have a big stamp like this is the hardwood stamp, in case you guys are not aware. It's a background stamp. I put it on my clear block already, and I'm going to ink it with the ink pad to the stamp set, just like so. Hopefully I'm not shaking too much. Now, the trick, or I don't know if it's a trick, how about a tip? There we go. I'm going to place my cardstock right on top, like so. Okay, now I'm going to take my scrap paper, I'm going to push it over, and I'm going to gently rub over the background stamp. Gonna go like this, pick it up, and look, I have my Sahara sand. I stamped in Sahara sand on the Sahara sand paper, and as you can see, my pad is well inked. The humidity this year has done wonders for my ink pads. It's kept them nice and well inked for my crafts. So there's our background. So we're going to layer that. Let me grab my snail. Hopefully it's nearby. Because, of course, that was the one thing I didn't make sure I had. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Where is my snail? Hold on. I'm just looking in my craft room here. I don't see it. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just open another one because I don't know where my snail is. You know what's going to happen. As soon as I open it, I will find the other one. But let's grab. It's always nice having refills on hand. I'm going to just put this right there. Okay, so we're going to snail this up. Just like so. Place this right on top. Like so. Next, I'm going to take that designer paper, and I'm going to do this as well. My paper keeps shifting. And we're just going to line this right up to here. So far so good. You guys are all following along nicely. Next, I'm going to take my burlap ribbon, and I've already cut a piece. Believe it or not, I was at the end. And what I did a lot of the times with this burlap, because it's so, I guess, thick or stiff, we could say, I just tie like a little tiny knot. Oh, shoot, hold on. Something happened. Okay. It's just a cute little technique. It's flat. It's not as big as a bow. I don't know if you guys can kind of see, but all I do is do this and make a little knot, pull it, and like you can maneuver it so that it comes nice and flat. Perfect, right? So this is going to go just like so. Now, I'll put my card next to me so you guys can see what I'm referencing. I will say, again, it's a little on the thick side for cards, but it looks so effective. And now, granted, I can still decide to do my card horizontally if I just so choose so, but I'm not planning on it. So, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue dots on the back here to put this down. Okay. So as you can see, I'm going to assemble the whole card because everything else, all the little pumpkins, are going on top of my card. So let me get all the messy stuff. Well, not really the messy stuff, but let me get all the foundation settled here. Okay, I was going to try and show my face today on the Facebook Live here, but I think when you do that, the camera doesn't like switch once you start it in a certain direction. And I just really wanted to get a video made, so maybe I'll just put a little picture of me here so you guys can see me. I have plenty of pictures of me on my site, so okay, so we're good here, right? Guess what's next? The card base. Now again, 5.5 by 8.5. That's just a half sheet of paper, and then scored at 1 1/4. Gonna take my snail. I have to say, this is one of my favorite snail things. Look, paper pumpkin. We got that once as a gift. You never know when the paper pumpkin people are going to give you a free gift. That's why it pays to be a subscriber. Okay, my card base is all done. Very happy with that. Okay, so next, what we're going to do is we're going to make our pumpkins. So I've got the 3 pumpkins, and as I told you, you need 3 of each. And I told you the measurements. So if you have to reverse back. Now, what I used to sponge them, as you can see here, let me hold it up for you. It can get messy because they're small, and the best way to do them is to invest in our sponge daubers. I absolutely positively love our sponge daubers. And this is an old embellishment kit that I had, so that was empty, so I just threw them in here so that they don't fly all over the place. So what I'm going to do is just sponge them in the colors that they are. So the first color, we'll do the little pumpkin first, is crushed curry. I'm going to move this guy down so you guys can see. And look, they fit right on your fingertip. I use 1 per color. I try not to reuse them. I will say some people can rinse them, add a little soap, and they do come clean. They might be stained, but they will be clean. Okay, so I'm just going to go around. You don't have to, well, depending. I don't need to really re-ink too much because for some reason these are well inked. So. Okay, and we're going to just do the 3rd one. I'm going to sponge all of them, and then I'm going to show you how to assemble them so that you really see how awesome they look. Close up your ink pad. That's one of my biggest tips. Close them up. Pumpkin pie. So we're going to grab my orange, my pumpkin one. And I usually have more than 1 in every color. Let me come up close so you guys can see. And I'm just kind of going along the edges. I do know some people kind of go like this. I prefer holding it up and kind of running it along the edge. I just think it gives it more of a whimsical or a distressed. I don't know. Got to find some adjectives for that. Anybody have suggestions? There we go. That's 1. I don't know. I find crafting very therapeutic. I pretty much do it, I'm going to say 6 days out of the week. It's hard for me to always do a video, although I always think about doing a video. So I have to get better at making the videos. So here we go. So you can see I'm just going along. I'm sorry if you're bored. Hopefully you're not. And if you like it, you can, you know, hit those like buttons, love buttons, happy buttons. Okay. Okay, last pumpkin to make. So we're just going to close it up, like I always say. We're going to take out the, I just want to make sure that's green. It is. It looks like brown, but it's green. So I'm going to take my pear. And again, I just rotate it around to make sure I get all the edges. If you choose not to, you don't have to do the sponge daubers, but I think it gives it more of like a 3D look. Or you could also run these little pumpkin shapes, oval shapes, circle shapes in an embossing fuller to give some texture. I didn't do that. Okay. So that's done. I will say, I'm going to leave the pear open for 1 second because I also sponged this leaf. I chose not to sponge the crushed curry here because it's very thin and it just was going to make a mess. So here's my little leaf punch. Whenever I punch, I always turn the punch upside down, punch out my shape so I can see where the paper is, that I make sure I get the whole image. Put that back in my bucket. And let's do this. And then I kind of just went around the edges. This is even small. It's kind of hard to do without bending the paper. So that's why once I did this one and then I was like, I'm not doing the other one because I was afraid I'd rip it. Close. Okay, so all my ink pads are away for now. I just have to do my sentiment, but okay. So I put everything away. So let's make our little pumpkins. So we have 3. Watch. We're going to take a little adhesive. I'm going to go like this. And all I'm going to do is overlap them. Now, if you want a fat pumpkin or a wider pumpkin, I think wider sounds better than fat. And I'm going to just go like this and like this. And I'm going to overlap that where I put the other 2. There's my pumpkin. Quick and simple. Did you miss that? Okay. Even though this one's smaller, still the same technique. Take your snail or your adhesive. We're going to make this guy a little bit thinner, skinnier, thinner. We're going to put a little adhesive on that guy, and you're just going to place him right on top. So this is what the back looks like, and then this is what the front looks like. Pretty easy, right? Okay. Next, the circles. So I'm just going to put some adhesive. Going to do the same thing with the circles that I did with the ovals. And I know you're like, it's not going to work, but it does work. He's a small little pumpkin. I could have made a small oval pumpkin too, but I really wanted to show. Now, if you have some punches, you probably could do like the 1-inch punch. We don't have oval punches, so just because I was using all my framelits, I just pulled out my oval ones. My circle ones too. The stitch shaped framelits would look awesome with this pumpkin thing too, make it more country-ish. So now the only thing left for me to do is the stems and then to put them onto my card. I know you're all waiting to see how I tie this, so that's coming up. So how am I going to make my little stems? Now don't think I'm like crazy artist here, but all I'm going to do is cut a strip here. Doesn't have to be straight. It's a pumpkin stem. We're just going to put it on an angle, and I'm going to just cut that off. I'm going to do another one, cut that off, and let's do one more. Okay, scrap paper. Always have to have scrap paper around. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to just put a little adhesive up at the top, and I am going to place my, I guess I didn't go up high enough. One stem. Let's do another one. You could use a glue dot, might work better so that you know you've attached that stem to your pumpkin. And one more. We'll put this guy sideways. Whoops, I want him up just a little bit. Not sideways. I'm just going to make him go the opposite way than the other guys. So look, there's my little pumpkin patch. Now, again, I added this. So I am going to use a glue dot. And I'm just going to kiss it to the glue dot. Okay. And we're gonna put it off to the side here. You can maneuver it a little bit before you attach it down. So there you go. Whoops, sorry, it wasn't on screen. So there you go. We're making our little pumpkin patch here. This guy gets the other new punch that is in our holiday catalog. Kind of reminds me of antlers too, so you know that's coming, right, for Christmas. Now, I'm just going to turn my punch over. I'm gonna punch it out. I am, believe it or not, you could leave it just like this and put it like that. However, I was being really crazy when I was making mine. I cut it in half. And I'm going to do the same thing. Get some glue dots. And I'm just going to attach it to, oh, hold on. I forgot, I'm doing the vertical card. I keep looking up the vertical card, the horizontal card. It's gonna just be a mishmash of both. So I'm just adding the glue dots. Sorry, come back on screen. Gotta get used to that. No rhyme or reason, just put them on there. It's gonna all come together. That's what's so great about, you could say this is like punch art, or it's framelit art, I guess. And now my little pumpkin. He didn't get any little accent. He got the linen thread. And I know you guys all love Bonnie's bow making. So, no, well, all right, I'll show you. I'm gonna take about 6 inches of ribbon, and I'm going to make 2 6-inch strips for me to cut with. So I'm gonna cut this off, and then I'm gonna cut this end. This linen thread is really thin. Sometimes people have a hard time maneuvering it. So if you have 2 pieces, it might make it a little easier. So I'm gonna make a little bow on this side, maybe. And I'm going to wrap it around my pointer, and then I'm going to put it through the hole that my pointer was holding open for me, and then just pull. Did you guys see that, or is my hand too high? So I can do it again. 2 strips, 6 inches. They're together for a little bit more thickness. Make a loop around your pointer. Remove the pointer, pull the thread through. Then pull your edges right here and right here. And you have your little bow for your crushed curry pumpkin. So guess what I'm getting? Glue dots. Now I will have this attached to my website post. I'm going to finish it up right after this so that you guys can reference back. I will have all the products that I used today. Let's get my card, because look, my little pumpkins are done. Okay, now we need dimensionals. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I'm going to, whoops, put this on this side of the pumpkin, and then I'm going to put one on this side. Now, why is it like that? Because I need it to go over this burlap so that it kind of lays flat. If I don't do that, it like wobbles. It's weird. There we go. We'll put this right next door. So if I do this, let me straighten out my little burlap here. I got my little pumpkin there. So one pumpkin's down and he's not wobbling. We're gonna get our little skinny guy. He's skinny. Now people think that I'm out of dimensionals when just the edges are here. Simply rip it off. Just put it right up the middle. So easy. Uh-oh. Low power mode just came on. Let me just plug in so that I don't lose you. My phone is atrocious. I need a new phone. It was charged at 100% and it just told me that we're dead. So hold on, let me just grab my charger. Because that would just be not good if I run out after all this time. Okay, so we're plugged in. Okay. And we're almost done too. So we're gonna add this little pumpkin right here. Well, let's space them out a little bit so that. And now we just gotta add our little crushed curry one. I'm just gonna put that there. Now you want to be careful that you don't put your dimensionals like right here, because then it won't lay flat. See, it's laying flat right there. So that's why I'm like just putting it right in the center, because I'm gonna just put him right here and he's not gonna interfere with the pear pizzazz pumpkin. Pretty cool, right? All right, so the only thing left to do is my sentiment, and I'm finished with my card. How cool is that? All right, so here's my paper. And here is my Mossy Meadow. But the only thing that's missing, oh, there it is. I already put it on my block. It says thank you. The stamp set that I chose is from the annual catalog. It's new. It's called Another Wonderful Year. Has a whole variety of sayings. I just really liked to thank you. I like thinking of you. But look, merry and bright, celebrate another wonderful year. Best dad ever. Love you more. Super cute. Okay, so we're gonna Mossy Meadow tap. And always check on your paper, because don't rock it, but you just want to make sure you are evenly inked. And I'm just going to stamp, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just cut off this edge. Little trick with the banner. Wait, maybe I should do it straight. Still gonna do it straight. Oh, I'm shaking now. Why? Because that battery mode. Because I will be so sad if this cuts out. So I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, there's my banner. And I am going to put some more dimensionals. I use up that whole sheet of dimensionals. It works. I'm not gonna put any, let me just show you, down here. The only reason why is this is gonna tuck under here, and I just wanna make sure it tucks. And it did. So what do you think, guys? Do you like my little pumpkin card? Think you can make some? So here, we got 1, we got 2, and we got 3. So now I have 3 little pumpkin cards that I can mail out. Now, you saw how I did the banner. You just cut up through the middle and then you meet the sides. You saw how I sponged everything. And again, I will have everything on my website so that you guys can watch the video, you can order the products, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.